Hello, I am Camilo Paez from the buildingSMART portal, which is the European platform for energy efficiency in buildings. Welcome to this edition of our Expert Talk series we are hosting today with Sylvain Kubicki from the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology, LIST. Welcome, Sylvain. We are very glad to have you here today with us.
Hello, Camilo. Thank you for having me.
To give a short introduction to our today's interview, well, we wanted to address the topic of digitalization in the building sector, which embraces different processes and digital technology tools that are being implemented in the sector, bringing changes, bringing new possibilities, and also requiring particular skills. To discuss about this, we wanted to have first-hand feedback from our interviewee today, Sylvain Kubicki, who is an architect, trained architect, and a PhD in computer science. He is currently Senior Research and Technology Associate at LIST, the Luxembourg Institute of Science and Technology. And there he has coordinated several European research projects, such as BIMEET, B-I-M-E-E-T, BIMEET project, on which we shall be discussing today. Among his research expertise, we have the use of building information modeling and management for achieving energy efficiency, the use of BIM for collaborative processes, and also the scope of his research has ranged from the building to the district scale. Sylvain, for our first question and for further framing the topic of the interview, maybe you can share with us some more about your current work, and also you can share with us your view on how this concept of construction 4.0, embracing digital technology, can be implemented in a sector that is very labor-oriented. What are the challenges here?
Sure. Thank you, Camilo, for the introduction. Yeah, I may add that indeed we've been looking at digital collaboration and building information modeling more recently, I would say, since some years in our research activities in LIST, while probably I would emphasize that in the last month and year, we've been looking very much into how these technologies and digital methods can really help or support environmental applications in the construction sector, from design to construction. And besides research and technology development, we are also trying to provide some feedback to support policies, even at the European level. Like in the last month, we've been involved in testing the scheme for the smart readiness indicator, for instance, in building, as well as looking how we can improve the future generation of energy performance certification. So yeah, you addressed a very interesting topic, this question of construction 4.0 and actually its implementation in our construction sector and the associated challenges. It might be recalled here that we are looking at a sector very fragmented with a lot of small construction companies, small engineering companies to SMEs, working on buildings that per nature are prototypes. You usually built only once, and constrained also by a lot of new regulations, thermal regulations and so on, that introduce more and more responsibilities, external actors, and a share of these responsibilities across the construction value chain. So in a way, what we need today through this concept of construction 4.0 is to strengthen the way people collaborate. And that's what these tools are about too. So improving the collaboration across disciplines and leading to projects that are really looking at performance-driven approaches in the design. And this definitely includes or very much targets the energy efficiency, and let the designers and even construction companies address this energy gap we've been looking at very much. This energy gap that can be identified from design simulation to construction actual building, and even more during the operation of building. And I would finally mention, as a final challenge related to construction 4.0, that there is a need to integrate the whole value chain, and thus reaching and integrating the blue-collar workers, the construction companies and their blue-collar workers, is definitely a challenge. And we need to diffuse these digital practices until the very end of the value chain, the workers, the technicians that will use this information and provide feedback to the loops.
Thank you, Sylvain. For the next question, we would like to ask you a question that is contextualized in this springtime of 2020. And it's concerning the COVID-19 containment measures that have obligated us to rethink the way we work. And we wanted to know, how do you think BIM and digitalization has helped to palliate the situation, the difficulties we are living, and also if this time has allowed to assess where efforts are needed and for further improvement.
Yeah, as you might imagine, it's not easy for us researchers, I mean, as for all the other professions, to have a look on how the design and construction work goes on at the moment, lockdown as everyone. However, through the project collaboration and the discussion we may have in our ongoing projects, I may say that it seems that design activities continued quite well during these times. And definitely BIM, when used, when implemented within companies and in construction projects, is a mean to collaborate distantly. So BIM, in a way, make this distant working a reality, and the methods that help people to coordinate their design models are definitely used and enable this continuity of the design work. However, definitely, we know that collaboration cannot be mediatized only by digital tools, and collaboration is a human thing. People need to meet, have a coffee together in order to address the work, the project, the details they are trying to solve all together. And that's really how it works in design activities. So probably most of them are now looking forward to go back to the office and meet with their colleagues and improve the actual work they have been carried out for a few months. On the building side, however, it might be another situation, another affair. And even if we know, we discussed that there are more and more technologies, drones, or scanners that enable sensing from the outside what's going on the site. Probably when it comes to dealing with coordination of trades, with details, construction details, and solving issues, that should be tricky and complicated at the moment. Plus these measures that the construction companies have to apply in order to enable the social distance amongst the workers, that probably are also quite of a challenge to address for them.
Surely. To further continue on the domain of the construction site and the actual production of the buildings, it is commonly said that the construction sector has not adopted many changes in the manufacturing process. What changes are expected or should be implemented in the manufacturing process from your point of view?
Yeah, definitely looking at manufacturing processes, industrial processes, is a way of informing the transformation we are looking at in the construction sector. I would say that it has been, to my point of view, seen as a way of improving productivity, which we need to address definitely in construction. However, probably we can also look at these tools more as a collaboration mean, a way of working together and leading to more performant design and construction. And that's what, through several projects we've been looking at, and especially through BIMIT that we will discuss in a minute, we've developed this kind of concept of training for construction workers that would look at how to improve the collaboration. So there is a need to transfer information to the construction site from the design offices, but there is also a need of mutual understanding. Understanding why such information is provided is important to the worker, to actually perform the work as it should be done. But it's also important for the designers, the architect, the engineer to understand how to present information and what information is really needed on site to build and to deal with the technical details. And so we've been developing in the last month a concept for a new training to be developed in the next month with IFSB, the Institut de Formation Sectorielle du Bâtiment in Luxembourg. And this concept really aims to train construction company and especially their blue-collar workers in the use of digital tools, namely looking at the BIM models, visualizing the information that they contain, accessing the technical details. While in the meantime, we also want to involve the designers in these activities so that they can really understand what is needed on site. And in the prototype we've developed, there is clearly a mix in between the physical model that will be used during the training and really allow the trainees to access physical installations and technical details, while looking at the digital information associated with and the manuals, for instance, that can be retrieved from the BIM.
Great, thank you. And yes, please, let's go ahead and discuss some more of the outcomes and the findings from the development of the BIMIT project and their objective of achieving energy efficiency savings.
Yes, so BIMIT is a European project funded by H2020, and it ran for 2.5 years, and it's finished now since the end of February. The aim of this project definitely is to leverage the take-up of ICT and BIM through an upgrade of the skills of the construction workforce using it and being able to benefit from it. In this project, we had a very interesting and strong consortium of 9 partners, and it was quite balanced amongst educational and professional training institutes on the one hand, and academic research and technology partners in the other hand. So we were able to address and to develop a concept that looks both at the whole construction life cycle, quite ambitious, going from design to construction and even the skills needed during the operation and maintenance of buildings, as well as considering the whole value chain of disciplines that are involved and that all together can achieve this delivery of energy efficient buildings. And in this project, we've done some, desk research to start with, but also we've delivered actual training sessions and even training content, training material that can be now reused for additional and new training to be delivered by the market. And to highlight perhaps a few outcomes of this action, of this project, the first one is a qualification matrix. So the goal of a qualification matrix in the field of BIM and energy efficiency is to organize the learning outcomes that are achieved through delivering actual training in BIM and energy efficiency for the whole actors, the whole life cycle. And this should improve the design and these learning outcomes should both enable the improvement of existing training modules, as well as help the design of new training modules, and eventually help in replicating these schemes across the EU member states. A second important result of BIMIT is the tool. We have both developed a community portal. This community portal, energybim.com, allows the professionals to access information. And we've developed a tool, a tangible tabletop interface that allows collaboratively to design new training modules while looking at these learning outcomes, but also looking at the expectation from the local market using a geographical information system. And finally, as I said, the third result I may mention is the e-learning modules. So from the BIMIT research activities, we've developed 2 e-learning modules. The first one is looking and is providing basic information, basic knowledge on BIM for energy efficiency. While the second one is a bit more focused and really look at how BIM can be used to deliver the energy performance certificates, and especially in our 5 countries involved in the consortiums of Finland, the United Kingdom, France, Luxembourg, and Greece. Both these e-learning modules are available from our portal, and everyone is invited to look at it and follow them.
We'll make sure to have some links with the post of this video to the project and to these tools, to these materials. And actually, what are the perspectives of further development of these platforms and tools that you have created? Maybe are there linked with new projects or other initiatives?
Yeah, so our first perspective is really to push this material, these outcomes from the BIMIT action towards the market. And we have professional partners, as I said, that are looking at how to transform this training material into their actual training programs. It's very open, so everyone can look at this or join this community, this BIMIT community, and use this training material and even improve it in the next month and year, I hope. In the meantime, we also will continue doing it and developing it through a new project that will start 1st of June. It's called Instruct project, and it's coordinated by ASM in Poland. And in this project, we will, amongst others, look at continuing the work that's been done on BIM and energy efficiency training, and continue strengthening this process of upskilling the construction actors in digital area.
Great. Thank you, Sylvain, for all these insights. I find very interesting. I hope this entices more curiosity for our audience. I like to highlight the effort you have accomplished to address the whole value chain, different needs, and also the importance given to the quality, not only to the productivity, but also to the quality of works that are essential for achieving energy efficiency and overall quality of the construction. Thanks again for accepting our invitation. For our audience, thanks for watching, and see you around.
Thank you very much.